Welcome back, everyone, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
Babe, we talked like 2 weeks ago, right? And we are getting ready. We're psyching up to do our Season 7 rewatch for Game of Thrones.
Yay.
As you probably recall.
Right.
Okay. But I thought it would be fun to visit an idea that we had a long time ago and never got around to doing. And it'll also help just sort of get our juices flowing. Sexy juices. To get our juices flowing for this rewatch, I thought we should go back to the very beginning. Episode 1. And do like a commentary track. We're going to watch it. Anyone that, I mean, maybe you've seen it so many times before, it doesn't matter. You just want to listen in and you know what's going on. And we'll narrate a little bit. But we can just talk about what we're seeing. I got some trivia bits here about the season, about the pilot episode. And we can just talk through the episode and remember what it was like so long ago. All those fresh-faced young actors.
Okay.
Are you excited?
I am excited,
It's been a long time since we've seen this.
I know. I can't wait to see everything that I've missed.
The last time we did a rewatch was probably 2 years ago. And even at that point, we were like, oh my God, look at Tyrion. He's so young.
Oh, that's right.
His hair was different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. So I think it will be a good time to go back and watch it again. But if you want to watch with us, of course, you can pull it up. We're going to be watching on Hulu. We have the HBO subscription tied into our Hulu account, but you could pull it up on HBO Go or HBO Now or whatever. They got like 2 different apps or your DVDs, whatever. But we'll tell you when we're starting. And is there anything else going on before that? Do we have any business to take care of?
No.
I didn't see a whole lot of like headlines this week. It was mostly dominated by Rose Leslie. Mm-hmm. Did you see that one?
I did not, because I'm always afraid that I'm going to get spoiled.
I'm really just going on headlines these days. I don't want to read too deeply into pretty much any article now. Mm-hmm. But the headline was to the effect of Kit Harington.
Right.
Well, Kit Harington and Rose Leslie got married.
Yes.
Of course. And that's Jon Snow and Ygritte, for those of you that don't remember who Rose Leslie is. But they got married in real life, which is adorable.
It is.
But I guess he told her how the show ends, and she got really pissed and stopped talking to him for like a few days.
Right.
But now that just leads to more speculation. Does that mean that she hated the ending and she's really mad about it? Or is she mad at him for spoiling it? Which I think is a totally fair question, because I wouldn't be happy if someone spoiled it for me.
If I was Rose Leslie and you were Kit Harington.
I'm almost Kit Harington.
And I'm almost Rose Leslie.
Well, she's...
Yeah. All right, well, whatever.
No, I mean, just I think I like you better. That's what I'm saying. She's all right.
You wouldn't tell me.
Well, I'd ask you first of all.
What if
again? I don't know if he asked her. Did he give her a choice?
So that's why she's mad.
Well, no, I don't know. I don't know why she's mad.
Okay.
I don't know that we're ever going to know. But there are a number of it certainly gets the imagination going. Why would she be mad?
Well, is it a really true story?
I guess so.
Because it's in the headlines?
Well, one of them must have said something, like maybe Kit's out for some press or something, and he was like, "Yeah, I told her how the show ended, and she got all mad at me." I don't know what his voice sounds like. So I'm just doing like a Paul McCartney or something. That may or may not be. Because they all have way different voices than they do on the show.
I know. Right? It's freaky. Yeah. It's freaky that they can be so good.
Yeah. That acting.
Yeah, acting. Hey?
Mm-hmm. So... that's all I saw for headlines, and I don't know what to make of it, but it's interesting. I hope their marriage survives this. It'd be really sad.
It wasn't his choice.
To share the ending?
No, I meant...
Oh, like how it actually
ended. Mm-hmm.
No, definitely not. Well, yeah, so maybe if she's just mad about how it ended, then... Well, at that point, that's like one of those things where you're like, you wake up one day and you're like, I had a dream last night that you cheated on me, and now I hate you, and we're not going to talk all day. Like,
you had a dream like that recently, didn't you?
Well, I didn't hold it against. No, well, you broke up with me in the dream.
Yeah.
You weren't cheating on me. Although, I don't know. I didn't find out in the dream.
Still might be, right?
But I didn't hold it against you. I was just telling you about it because I thought it made me kind of sad. Actually, I woke up sad.
Aww. Okay.
Anyway, so that's my only headline. Not that exciting. But what's exciting is watching Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 1. Winter is coming.
I know. Let's get started. I can't wait. Wait.
Yes.
So we're not going to play the sound.
We're not going to play the sound because we don't want to get sued.
So how's this going to work?
Well, we have subtitles.
Yeah.
And we've seen this. We're the experts, after all. We've seen this enough times where I think we can get through this without sound. So we're just going to talk about what we're seeing, and we're going to talk about what we're feeling. And I've got some production notes.
Cool.
In fact, I should probably get those ready.
All right.
I'm trying not to move. I've got us hooked up to these little clip-on microphones, the lavalier microphones, because we're in our living room, and I'm afraid of the echo on our regular microphones. I'm hoping this will be better, but it might not be. We don't usually record in a room with TV. It's all secluded. Okay, so I got my trivia notes up, and we can get started. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go. All right, so as we hit play, what we've got coming up is TVMA violence, nudity, adult content, and language. Watch out. Here's the HBO logo. Oh. Is that what it sounds like?
Something like that, I think, maybe.
Right. Okay, so when we first watched this show, we had no idea where we were. Where are we, babe? Do you remember? How much?
Aren't we at Castle Black at the wall?
I've noticed recently that you're getting better at remembering names of things than I am. I don't know what that's all about. You used to be terrible at this, but yes, this is Castle Black. And we have some Night's Watch dudes.
Right. So this is in the past.
No. This is present day. These guys are riding out for one of their patrols. Riding through their ice tunnel. There's so while they're slowly walking. So Winter is Coming is the name of this episode. And everywhere else in Westeros, it's kind of nice, except up here at the very far north. When you go north of the wall, it's a wintry wonderland. And this was filmed, by the way, in Northern Ireland. If you ever want to go see some of not the wall, of course, that's not really there, but this foresty area where they're now riding in, I took a note on that. It was filmed at Tollymore Forest Park in Northern Ireland. So if you ever want to take a tour, I would love it.
Sure is beautiful.
It'd be fun to take a tour of all the filming locations.
It looks really cold. I think that we might die. People are dying right now around America.
America. Well, yes, but that's extreme cold, which it's actually colder here in America than it is in Ireland right now, I'm pretty sure. So
that looks pretty cold. I mean,
this would be balmy and
everything's getting darker and more snowy and more breathy.
All right, so I believe that guy's name is Will in the show.
I think his horse's name is Whiskers.
Whiskers?
Maybe.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think there might have been a caption that says whispers. That he's whispering. You don't watch captions very often, do you?
No. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Okay, well, we'll get better at this in time, I guess. All right, so this is going to be our first view of, again, stuff that in the first episode of the first season of the show, unless you had read the books, of course, you wouldn't know what the fuck is happening.
Right, I didn't know because
there's this big wall.
I didn't read the books when we watched this.
There's
I hadn't read the books.
With their heads missing. Ugh. But this is our first look at wildlings. They're not looking so good.
Oh, seen the dead girl. I think she's dead.
She's got really big eyes.
She is creepy. She looks like a doll.
Well, they did a good job with the makeup then, I guess, because I think that's dead. And there's a symbol. We never really get significance to that symbol to the best.
Well, that's a female symbol with a bigger O.
You saying that looked like a vagina?
No, it's like the women's symbol with the plus and the O and the circle.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's what that...
That's what it looked like to me.
Oh, I wish we can't rewind it, though, because we're doing this live here. But it was a funny symbol, clearly related to the White Walkers. So with these guys deciding what to do, we will soon begin our first view of a White Walker, which I think it's quite a while before we see one again. And I'm looking forward now, with so many seasons behind us, of seeing what that guy looks like. Because I bet it's not quite the same. Right?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I remember him looking like long-bearded old guy with wearing a diaper.
A diaper?
Doesn't that guy look a lot like Matt Damon?
He does.
He could be his little brother or something.
A little bit. Probably doesn't have the Boston accent. I mean, we're on subtitles right now, so I can't say that for sure. But probably no Boston accent.
This is strange.
What? Watching with no sound?
Yeah.
Well, I hope if people like this, if the people demand it, we'll do this for some of our favorite episodes. Not every episode. By no means do we have time.
Echoing animal call.
Well, now all the stuff is gone, so they all think Will's a crazy fuck.
Right. No blood or anything.
That is something I would... This is one of those things that I just feel like whatever the idea was behind this went away. Because the idea seems to be that the White Walkers are little tricksters. They're playing a practical joke on poor Will.
Right. Why'd they do that? The things just got up and walked away.
Well, if they turned into zombies, fine, but these bodies were cleaved in half, so...
Right, how'd they get back together?
I mean, they could be kind of shuffling around and stuff, but they wouldn't be cleaning up their own tracks behind themselves.
Yeah, they don't care.
So because of that, the impression I get is that the White Walker came back and moved all that shit just to fuck with these guys. But why would he fuck with them? Why not just murder them all? I would love to get inside the idea here of like just...
Right. They had to have a conversation about it.
What was the White Walker's plan?
And what is that?
I think it's guts.
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh,
so we got blue glowing eyes, and he's all blurry.
Oh.
And you barely see him.
He looks like a snow monster.
He kind of looked like a Wookiee.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It kind of looked like a Chewbacca thing.
Uh-oh. You better run.
All right, so there we have our first zombie. Okay, so in the show, in the book, they're called whites, not zombies. Now, are you familiar with that term?
Yeah.
Because I know it from Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, like WIGTHS.
Mm-hmm.
WIGTH.
White Draugr.
WIGHT. White. Oh, yeah, from stuff like Skyrim, the video games we play. But I'd rather call them ice zombies because I feel like White Walker and then whites will confuse the average non-nerdy...
It did. It was very confusing.
Non-nerdy person. It's sort of like the OSHA thing that comes up during this show. Oh, we're done running now. Okay.
They saw the little girl with the glowing eyes. Oh, and now they see... Uh-oh.
All right, so now we see a hand. We see the ice sword. They really just don't want to show us. Oh, is that his diaper?
Yes.
I wouldn't call that a diaper necessarily. Okay, so love the beheading. I love that the blood is like steaming in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
But I would again question why. There's our theme song. Why taunt the guy? Why let him get away?
Mm-hmm.
What are the White Walkers trying to do?
Right.
What's their plan? I would have thought they'd want to keep their existence quiet as long as possible. And if someone stumbles upon them, kill them all and turn them into zombies. You get another zombie if you don't let that guy get away. Right?
Right.
I
don't know either.
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to scare them away.
If we ever get a chance to interview Benioff and Weiss, I don't know that's going to happen. That's the writers, by the way, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. They I don't think they wrote every episode forever, but they've always been involved, and they're the showrunners. But they wrote the pilot at the very least.
Mm-hmm. We should start a list of questions we would like to ask them.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Okay.
And this episode was directed by Tim Van Patten. I had to just check, and sure enough, he is actually related to Dick Van Patten, like his nephew.
Wow, neat.
Yeah,
we like him.
If you guys don't know who Dick Van Patten is,
well, then you're too young.
Congratulations on being young. Yeah. He was the dad from Happy Days. No, wait, no, that was Tom Bosley. Oh, my bad. Dick Van Patten was...
Now you don't even know who he is.
8 is Enough. He was from 8 is Enough, right?
Yes.
Old show.
We have 7. 7 is enough.
7 is plenty. Well, plus a dog and a cat.
I need to...
My apologies, everybody. She's blowing her nose.
My nose is running.
Try to mute most of that. Oh, here we are! Now, we're on the hills of either Scotland or Ireland, which is one of the big pieces of trivia about this, is that we lay people might not be able to tell where any given thing is filmed because there were 2 pilots to this show. We're watching the second pilot. The original pilot was never aired, has never seen the light of day.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, we might have mentioned it once. I think I tried to find footage from it.
And what was wrong with it?
Happen. Apparently, it was just terrible. By all accounts, it was bad. Very, very, very bad. So about 90% of it was reshot. And they did some recasting, but not completely. Like all these guys were originals. Little Bran, and he's walking, and he has emotions. Boy, has any character changed more than Bran Stark?
Well, maybe the ones that are dead.
Well, yeah, I guess death is a form of change.
Right? Sansa's changed a lot. So is Arya.
Well,
although Arya's still the same.
I mean, look, they've all gone through their growth cycles. They've all had, things happen to them and their personalities have changed. But Bran has changed physically and emotionally and spiritually. I don't know that character could possibly be more different than what he is here on day one. Not a very good archer, though.
No, everybody laughs at him.
Oh, there's Rickon.
Just zig and zag, Rickon.
Yeah, if someone was giving Rickon zig and zag lessons right now, that would be awesome.
Instead of
someone just go ahead and
when they just give up on this.
Right, pay a little less attention to Bran. He's going to be fine. Pay more attention to Rickon. He needs you. Oh, there's Arya. She's so cute. My little super ninja. She had it in her from day one. It's a good feeling. So Catelyn was one of the people that was recast.
Who played her before?
There were some there were minor characters that were recast too, but the big ones were Daenerys and Catelyn.
Who was playing Daenerys and Catelyn before? Do you know?
I was looking at it, but no one that we really know their work. Sad to say. I mean, they've done stuff. They're working actors, but nothing where we'd be like, oh yeah, I know that person from that. Yeah. But Catelyn was one of the people recast, so every scene where she's in had to have some reshooting.
Winter's coming. Is that the first time?
I believe that's the first time, yeah. So it's the name of the show, and again, if you're a lay person that hasn't read the books, then you're just like, well, all right, winter is coming. But that's actually the house words. It's kind of this thing that they keep going on and on and on about.
Yeah.
I wonder if that gets old if you're a Stark. You're always saying winter is coming, and they've had like 20 years.
Seems like it would. 20 years of, yeah.
All right, so they captured a deserter. Turns out this is a big deal. If you're part of the Night's Watch, you don't get to leave Castle Black unless you're on a specific mission.
So these guys were deserters?
Just this one guy. The other 2 guys died. Remember that one guy got his head cut off? Thrown at Will's
Well,
feet.
Sure, yeah.
Wait a second. He should have gone back to the wall to warn the Night's Watch.
Right. He was supposed to go back to his post.
How did he get here? Did he go all the way to the end of the wall, get on a boat, paddle around the wall, and then...
No, he came this way. He just...
Well, they went through the tunnel. They got their asses kicked, and then this guy ran, and now he's south of the wall again. So he had to have gone back to the wall. Someone didn't think this through, but that's okay. We'll forgive it.
You're right.
I would have just said he went back to the castle and he was like, fucked up shit happened, and then he just ran. Like, ran in the night.
Maybe that's what happened, and they just didn't explain that.
Maybe.
Because they were calling him a deserter.
Oh my god, there's Theon. He's changed a lot, physically.
Oh, Theon. I don't want to watch that entire season ever again because it was so hard.
The Theon torture?
Yes, that was really hard.
Yeah. All right, so Eddard is a man of honor. He's got to take this dude out.
Oh, well. Ew.
Ooh.
Blood splurting.
I didn't write down the quote, but I think it was just from someone who was reviewing this episode, and it was something to the effect of, you know you're not watching a network show when there's 2 beheadings in the first 15 minutes. Not to mention all the, corpses that were all strewn about.
Yeah.
So Sean Bean, that man is famous for dying. But when you see him as the hero, you just have to want everything to go his way. Such a good guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just dumb.
But you know what we say about the Stark family? What do we always say about the Stark family?
They're not the brightest bunch.
They sure do make a lot of really bad decisions. And maybe this was the first one. I mean, he says the law insists that he has to kill this dude, and he has to do it himself. But this guy's got to die. But this guy's got really useful information.
Right. But they don't. Do they not believe him? They don't believe him.
I guess maybe not, but I would have taken him in for a deeper interrogation or something. So this was bad decision number 1 for Ned.
This is. Ew.
Oh, yeah. About that stag, that's a real stag, and it's really dead.
They found it?
It's really been dead for like 2 days when the actors come across it, and apparently it stank to fuck. And they all had to pretend like it wasn't a big deal. So let's watch their acting here. Well, Sean Bean's breathing hard right now.
He's getting it all in his mouth.
He's mouth breathing because he doesn't want to smell it. I guess that was a pretty quick scene. They're probably not going back to the stag, I guess. They're just going to find their adorable widow puppies. They are awfully cute.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Puppies are always cute.
And what would have been a pretty subtle...
Aww.
What? That they were trying to nurse?
No, the direwolf mom had her antlers stuck in her chest.
Oh, yeah. It's quite a battle. Look how shocked they are. That's
Ew.
probably not a real direwolf.
No, that's not real. You can tell.
It's
a freak!
Because it's so big, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How could someone not know what the direwolf is when it's the Stark
family
emblem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Theon.
Theon's
tough old beast. But the symbolism here, of course, and we probably talked about this on some sort of rewatch, is that a stag killed the wolves, and the stag, of course, is the house animal or the symbol of House Baratheon.
Correct.
And the wolf is now dead. Well, they killed each other.
Also, John just Rob,
yes.
Rob just said there are no direwolves south of the wall, and Jon Snow says there are 5. But maybe that means they belong past the wall.
Well, yeah, so that's another clue, guy that just beheaded someone, that maybe security at the wall isn't so great. Hey, that's a funny thing to say. I hadn't planned on bringing Trump into the conversation today, but come on.
Puppies.
Walls. They just can't keep everything out. We all know that.
Speaking of direwolves, so who's alive now coming up in the new season?
Like who's left?
Who's left? Summer?
Let's assume the direwolves themselves. Let's assume for the moment that, of course, if you're watching a commentary track, you hopefully have watched Game of Thrones. But in terms of the wolves, well, let's see.
That wolf has red eyes.
Summer was Bran's wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Summer. Oh, we're coming up on King's Landing. Do we have anything to say about that?
Is that a real place?
King's Landing?
Well, I mean, I know they filmed some in Spain, but is that what they just showed real, or is that fake?
No, I think that was just a painting or something. But There's John Aaron lying in state.
What are in those bottles? Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it looked like, oh, that's creepy. They have the eyes on ice stones. And then these weird
I don't remember
nuns with square things.
Oh, those bottles.
Yes, it looks like tissues of random sorts.
Well, they never really talk about it, but I'm just going to take a stab and say that was probably John Aaron's organs,
You're
maybe
right.
in an Egyptian kind of way.
Mm-hmm. That's disgusto.
Because that's what the ancient Egyptians would do. They would take all the organs out and preserve them and preserve the body.
Oh, look at Jamie's so young and fresh.
Here's a funny piece of trivia that I did not know before today.
Mm-hmm.
Lena Headey, who is here, she is pregnant.
With Jamie's baby?
No, in real life.
Wow, so that means she probably will be pregnant in the next season. Because remember, she wasn't supposed to be, well, we thought she was lying about her pregnancy.
No, I mean the actress, Lena Headey.
I know. Okay. They might have taken advantage of that and filmed her pregnant.
You mean
for real?
7-8 years ago they filmed some scenes with her being pregnant so that they could use them 8 years later?
What? Oh, she's pregnant now, here, on this. Thought you meant now in real life.
Cut, take 2. In this scene, yeah, look, in season 1 of the show, Lena Headey, the actress, is pregnant.
Okay.
So, not knowing that, now that I know that, I want to kind of keep an eye out.
For her belly?
Apparently, at the end, the scene at the end of this episode, they were using a body double for her. Not that you really see anything, but maybe
that's probably why she was just leaning over the window, and then she's going to get it from behind.
Exactly. So I guess through most of season 1, they went out of their way not to show her belly.
Huh. That's weird.
But at some point, she's going to come up through the caravan with Robert and everything, and I feel like you see her. You must see her in like full profile.
But I think she keeps her hands like crossed in front of her a lot of the time.
Maybe that was it. But that's something to look for. So Lena Headey, the actress, is preggers. That's a big ass sword. I feel like it's a little bit too big.
He has a blanket over that thing he's sitting on.
He doesn't want to get his butt dirty.
Look at that fur that's behind him.
I actually haven't been paying attention to what they're saying.
Me either.
Oh, she's delivering the news about John Aaron.
John Aaron is dead.
I did read that there was a cut scene that actually showed him dying. I'm glad they cut that out because we didn't really know who he was. We still don't really know who he was. So showing him dying wouldn't have meant a whole lot. Save a few seconds on that one. John Aaron was a mentor to Eddard Stark. We'll learn more about that later. And to Robert Baratheon. He partially raised them both. They were like his wards or something like that.
Can you imagine living in these days where you have to put on clothes like this and walk around and you're so rich you don't have to actually do anything. You just walk around and talk to people.
Well, Ned had to behead someone today.
Yeah, but what has she done? Is she cooking in the kitchen with those long sleeves?
Of course not. Well, she's the lady. She doesn't do anything.
I know. That's what I was just saying. Just
Ned.
imagine
I see.
being like that. That would be so meaningless, I would think.
That's still a thing now with our upperest of upper crust people.
I know.
Don't have to cook or clean. You've got servants for all that. You just have to give the orders. And people will try to make you happy.
What is this? What is going on? Why is this a thing? Why is this?
Hey, look, it's fair play. I don't really
That guy really is gay.
Which guy?
The guy that's doing all the shaving on these guys.
Why? What?
I don't know. He was rubbing his face.
Oh, babe. Come on. It's not very nice. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but you shouldn't just label someone because he's a barber. That's kind of weird.
No, the way he was touching him.
I have a hairstylist who is male and straight.
Does he touch you like that guy was touching him?
No, he definitely does not.
There, that's my point.
But he doesn't shave my face either. He just cuts my hair on my head.
Well, all right.
Again, huge, let's even say a stark contrast for the Bran of season 1 to the Bran of today. So full of life he is.
Jumping from building to building.
Springing, even.
Oh, the dog gave him away.
Some significant time must have passed. Because dogs grow fast, but not that fast.
Probably 6 to 8 weeks.
That's probably enough, because the caravan's coming up from King's Landing. So they really don't give us much information on timing in this show, but you do need a significant amount of time to get from King's Landing to here. You gotta.
He promised no more climbing. Ay.
So for Winterfell, there were 2 different castles used in the production. In the original production, there was a castle in Scotland called Doune Castle. Doune. But then when they reshot, the exteriors of the castle were in Northern Ireland instead, because apparently it would have been too complicated to take the production back to Scotland. Which to me, maybe I just don't know enough how like things work over there, but it doesn't seem like it's a great distance. But they decided to reshoot the exteriors, so this is somewhere in Northern Ireland at, if you want to visit it, Castle Ward in Northern Ireland. Oh god, there's the Hound.
His awesome helmet.
That helmet is awesome, but it doesn't last long, because I think it's awesome in all the wrong ways. Don't you think? Oh, this is supposed to be, we gotta watch for this. We gotta watch for this. Remember, when we had our talk, it was that panel we did at Comic-Con, LA Comic-Con 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when Robert Baratheon comes out, he supposedly greets or maybe touches the Starks.
In the order they were born.
In the order they will die.
Oh.
But I don't know.
That's right.
Is that true?
Let's find out.
We gotta keep an eye on this. That's fascinating.
He's going to touch them in the order that they will die. Who died first?
That's some pretty amazingly... Well, Ned, I think, right?
And then... Joffrey. Ay.
Well, I think Rob and then Catelyn. Maybe? Joffrey. Wonder how that plays into Rickon.
Ben Rickon, yeah.
But if that's all true, that becomes kind of fascinating, just in the sense of that, what we just saw with the stag and the direwolf killing each other. It's almost like a curse. The touch of Robert Baratheon.
He's so grody.
Who?
Robert Baratheon.
Grody?
Well, look at him. He drinks all day.
Well, yeah, but you don't know
eats
that.
Eats pork.
Yeah. He's kind of charming, isn't he? He's very jovial and friendly. Kind of a down-to-earth guy.
Sure, yes. But no.
Then it turns out he's a drunk fuck-up.
He's really like this. This is real, actually. This attitude.
I feel like they stole this from when like Han and Lando met each other in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Acting all mad and then be like, I love you, buddy.
You don't think that ever happened again to anybody in the whole entire universe?
No. Never. You've got fat. See, he's funny. Okay, so he touches Ned Stark. Catelyn. Maybe she does die first. Rickon. Oh. Okay, well that's off then.
No.
It turns out that myth or legend is not true. Ooh, look how she's all bundled up.
Mm-hmm.
She's got furs covering her belly. Okay, and then he greets Rob. He doesn't touch them. Touch her.
Maybe he only touches the people that are going to die.
Well, that certainly, there certainly can be something to that. Yeah, he doesn't touch anyone else, but he does touch all the Starks that will eventually kick the bucket. Sorry for the spoilers. And also, say hi, everybody, to Rosie, the Cat of Thrones. She has made very few appearances on the show.
Mm-hmm. She's chewing on your cords.
What? Rosie, no. Do not eat the microphone cord. Okay, well, really, We have not seen very much of Lena Headey, and she's got big furs draped over her.
What was that all about just now?
What? The look between Cersei
Yeah.
and...
No, the look between Cersei and Ned.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Well, I don't think there's any love lost there. I mean...
Maybe he loves her.
Who?
Ned.
Ned loves Cersei?
Yeah. There was like a
what?
weird
She had
look.
a look of revulsion on her face. Of course, maybe that's why. But she's just been hateful from day one of this show. It does seem like there was an alternate universe where if Robert was a good husband, she might have been okay.
Yeah.
You know, you hear some of the stories later, I think, in this very season, where she was excited to be married to him because he was the handsomest, mightiest man around.
No, that was when they were in
not in this episode, just later on in the season right. She talks about that. But then it turns out he was also a drunk and a jackass and whored around a lot and wouldn't stop talking about Lyanna Stark, which is where they are right now. They're going to visit Lyanna Stark's tomb.
This is weird. I don't understand this whole meetings in the tombs.
Well, it's a great place to have some privacy.
I guess, but creepy.
It would be very hard for someone to come spy on you, except for there's got to be a lot of echoes.
Right. But you would hear footprints.
Footsteps?
Yes. No, the prints.
I did read something about how those tombs were just a converted wine cellar in one of the castles they shot in.
Well, that's good to know.
Might have been the original.
Oh, here's Tyrion.
Castle. Oh my God, there he is.
He looks so different.
Well, the blonde hair, they actually tried to make him look like the rest of his family. But that didn't
happen. Yeah, they did. Wow.
They got so much darker.
Oh, it's Roz.
Roz, the hooker with a heart of gold. Sort of.
Now, there's naked peoples.
Right. Big reason we can't watch this show with our kids.
This would be such an interesting thing to have to do.
What?
As your job. This.
Being a lady of the night?
Yeah, and people are filming you guys.
Oh, so the acting part.
The acting part. Okay. She's like...
I thought you were telling me you wanted to change jobs. What? So the part where you... So not like if you were a porn star because someone's filming you actually having sex. You think it's really interesting to be in this acting role where you're pretending that you're having sex and someone's filming you?
Mm-hmm.
That's more interesting?
Well, I mean, look at this.
The cinematography is impressive because you've got to get the framing just right on that. Because she probably has something covering up her actual like vaginal area. But
well,
you could see the butt and you were like a millimeter away from being able to see whatever's going on there. But they just had it framed perfectly. That's talent. Kudos to the cinematographers for keeping this from being actual porn. And there's the cat again. Hey, cat. Oh, there's more naked girls. Boobs, boobs, boobs.
Boobs, boobs. Boobs of the...
There have been people keeping track of the number of boobs to like number of deaths in the show, and I haven't looked that up in a long time, but definitely the ratio was shifting each season from less boobs, or from like lots of boobs and only a few killings to like very few boobs and tons of killing.
I wonder... Well, I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot of time for boobs when there's so many wars.
It's true. This was an innocent time when people could just have sex. I mean, Tyrion was like the ultimate coxman. And he gets to a point in just a couple of seasons where he becomes practically celibate. Still a drunk.
No, he ended up quitting drinking.
Did he?
Later, when he started working for Daenerys.
Well...
He's no longer a drunk.
Quit drinking. Maybe not like a huge drunk anymore. But okay, so here we are. Now we have Daenerys, who was recast. So pretty much all of this should have been reshot. So originally, in the pilot that we'll never see, they shot all of the Pentos stuff across the sea in Morocco. But now they're shooting in Malta instead.
From El Rio?
Illyrio.
Illyrio.
Illyrio Mopatis. He's their benefactor. He's the rich merchant that has kept them alive and hidden all these years.
Wow.
She doesn't really look any different, but maybe it's just the hair.
I think she got better wigs.
More interesting wigs. This is just plain old long hair. She's going to get all the cool braids and stuff soon. Now here is the worst brother ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I suppose if you've read the books, maybe it's not as big of a deal because you know the Targaryens are very incestuous. But coming into this fresh, knowing that they're brother and sister, just you. You.
Yeah.
You. She has to be perfect, babe. Oh, and that Wake the Dragon shit. Oh, God. There's something that reminds me of it. I'm not sure what it is, but there's...
He reminds me of Malfoy.
From Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Sure. The hair doesn't help. Yeah, that white hair and that ultra arrogance.
Mm-hmm. I want to get in that bath. Oh, it looks so good.
You have a nice bathtub.
Steaming. Okay, walk slowly up the stairs, as slow as you possibly
can. She
can.
doesn't want to slip, babe. You know what that's like.
Well, of course.
Steps and bathtubs are a terrible
it's
combination.
too hot. That's why she was walking slowly. She was getting ready. She was psyching herself out.
This is actually very similar to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You get your ridiculously hot baths. You come out, your skin's all red.
I mean, it kills everything that's inside of me.
Oh, yeah, well, that sounds like a great choice, babe.
It makes my body uninhabitable to other beings.
I see. So that's Illyrio right there.
Come out in this
You don't see him
sheer
very often.
dress so we can sell you to these barbarians.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our first look at Jason Momoa, Aquaman himself, everybody. How much has he changed over the years?
He's not as dark.
Yeah, he looks a little darker in this, doesn't he?
Yeah, I wonder if they spray painted him.
Well, they could have just made him get more of a tan.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, Aquaman definitely has a little more...
Oh, actually, he's Hawaiian, so he's probably less tan now because he's not in Hawaii all the time.
Hollywood has ruined his skin.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I mean, it's probably saving him from skin cancer, but look at those pants.
Whose pants? Khal Drogo's pants?
Mm-hmm.
Look at those nipples.
My goodness.
Poor girl.
She looks cold.
There's a stiff wind in Malta this time of year. Her cheeks are a little rosy.
It's blush.
Now, his amount of eye makeup, though.
They like to wear eye makeup in the desert.
You know, maybe there's something to that. Maybe it's like the eye black that football players wear because it like absorbs some of the sun and keeps it out of your eyes. Maybe there's something to that.
What would he have done? Killed her?
Killed them all.
Killed her, right.
Never can tell with Khal Drogo. So Illyrio was all about this special cabal that wanted to restore the Targaryens to power, which makes sense when you think of it in the Daenerys version of things, but why would you want to put this prick back in power?
So he can be in favor of them?
Yeah, I guess. Or maybe it's some kind of religious zealotry, a true believerism, that even though this guy is a complete asshole, he should be on the throne, we should just deal with it. Oh, she doesn't want to be his queen. There's so many deep issues with the psychology of Daenerys, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. She's like 13.
Well, in the book she is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But then the way she certainly took a survivor mentality, which is good. You don't want to die a sex slave, but she fell in love with Drogo and she became really like she was into the Dothraki culture and
she got so disgusting.
Yeah.
She got she got a taste of power.
Is that what it is?
And then she
got power. She liked it.
Well, I mean, she's magical.
She is. She withstood the terrors of the hot bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sansa. Oh boy, it would be interesting to watch some of this from I guess there are pieces here where you see Sansa, and it's like original pilot footage, but then anything that had Catelyn in it had to be reshot, so it's sort of a mix and match. They kept the parts they liked, and then they reshot the stuff they had to. Oh, yeah. So they changed castles, of course, for Winterfell. I think I was saying that they didn't want to go back and shoot in Scotland, but they had some interior shots from Down Castle that were staying in the new pilot. So rather than go back to Scotland for reshoots, they just built a precise, exact replica of the original, like the main hall of the castle. Then they just built that as a soundstage because that was easier. Building this over was easier than going back to Scotland with some.
It's a lot of people to fly and house.
Maybe. Oh, can't see Cersei's belly there either. God, she looks pissed.
Wouldn't you?
And she's such a cool lady in real life. It is amazing how unlikable she makes herself.
Yeah. That must be fun.
Oh, it's Benjen. It's a long time before we see him again. Well, not exactly. I guess he's in maybe 1 or 2 more episodes, but then he's gone for a long time. So I guess Benjen Stark's story was that he wanted to be in the Night's Watch. Felt a calling, I suppose.
Aww.
To the best of my knowledge.
John just said the Lady Catelyn didn't want him inside while they were eating.
Right.
So mean.
I don't care what anyone says. I think that is the dumbest of the dumb, horrible decisions that Eddard Stark made. Was not if you can't trust anybody in the world, fine. But there's one person that you should really let in on the secret. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do think.
She's all mad because she thinks Ned fucked around. But he didn't fuck around.
Right. Why didn't he just tell her? Everything would have been like so much better.
Maybe it's like a Harry Potter thing. Like Harry Potter had to like suffer at the hands of his awful aunt and uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you let him in on too many of the secrets early, he'd wind up getting spoiled, something, like he shouldn't grow up not to mention growing up in the wizarding world and put his life in danger. But like all that suffering he had as a child turned him into this wonderfully giving person that became the hero of the wizarding world. So maybe Jon Snow was meant to suffer in that same kind of way so that he would, I don't know, be hungry for love. Something like that. Tyrion. He just speaks his mind. He's a good guy. He's a good guy from day one, isn't he?
Yes.
He's never really been a shithead.
Well, I mean, he kind of is a shithead because he's like he just called him the bastard.
Oh, well, there you are again. Let me give you some advice, bastard. But he's the imp. Which they don't really explain. Again, but in the book, he has like weird twisted legs and his eyes are different colors and he's a little more.
Was he all about sexy time also?
I believe so. I think he was still into the ladies, and he got by on his charm and his intelligence, just like he does in the show. But in the show, he's not quite as strange looking. He's just a short dude. In the books, he's a little bit more than that. Look at them together.
Oh, they're talking about the guy he had to behead?
Mm-hmm. Talking madness. I guess that's why. He wound up beheading him instead of questioning him further. You're right. They just thought Will was lying. They didn't take him seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
That might be the first time we've heard the terms wildlings. Oh, dire wolves south of the wall. Now, see, again, dire wolves south of the wall. There's obviously something weird going on. Fucking take it seriously. That's all I wanted.
He just said winter's coming. They are taking it seriously.
He
Winter's
also
coming
said
again.
Winter's coming. Everybody knows that winter is coming. So with all this family, it just got me thinking there is another scene that we'll never get to see from from this episode, another deleted one, where apparently they did film a flashback scene about the death of Brandon Stark, Ned's brother. Ned's older brother, who I think was originally supposed to marry Catelyn. I think. But he got killed by the Mad King, or on the Mad King's orders. Is that Sansa?
Mm-hmm.
Man, she looks so different right there. It's just something about the hair. I would say she's almost unrecognizable. Am I crazy? Maybe.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
very young. Look how young she is.
Have you bled yet? Oh, that's so uncomfortable. She made her own dress, though. At least she's doing something with her time. Right? You were worried that they just sit around doing nothing all day.
She makes a dress.
She made a whole dress. If you're sewing it by hand from scratch, that's got to take a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took you like 3 months to make a Sansa dress.
Oh my God.
And you had a sewing machine.
It was awful. Ugh, Joffrey.
What?
He's so nasty.
What did he actually? Here's another question I'd like to ask the writers. Did he actually think Sansa was pretty and was liking her, or was he flirting with her under orders? What do you think?
I think he liked her. No, he stopped liking her when the dog bit him.
But he doesn't seem to have like
usual
urges,
right.
Let's say.
True. But
Unless...
no, I mean, he must have had some urges because he was just looking at her.
Oh, Arya. Bad Arya. Rob. Oh, he's not allowed to find that funny. He's the oldest brother.
He's like Greg Brady.
Time for bed. No punishment, though, for hitting. What would we do? We've never had that situation happen. What would we do if one of our kids slapped another one of our kids in the face with, like, refried beans? Whatever the fuck that was.
I would laugh. And then I don't know what.
We'd have to punish them, right?
Of course. Otherwise, we'd have crap all over our walls.
It would happen all the time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A tender moment. This would be a great time to tell her that the whole bastard thing isn't real.
Yeah.
Boy.
I like that bed.
I'd be afraid I'd be hitting my head on that side post.
Well, you probably would.
In my sleep. Ned didn't have a CPAP machine. Yeah, I bet you Robert Baratheon, I bet he snores like a motherfucker.
Yep.
But he and Cersei don't share a room either.
Nope.
When you're king, you just get to sleep wherever you want. In the books, they were naked.
She gets up naked?
She had cum dripping out of her, I think.
What?
Yeah.
What?
They had just fucked.
Ew.
So this starts off a whole plot that pays off in the weirdest ways. Centered around the question of who actually killed Jon Arryn. John Arryn was murdered. Well, that's true. But the Lannisters thing wasn't true, but we all felt like it was easy enough to believe.
What was it? What thing with the Lannisters?
Poisoning John Arryn.
That it was what's her name?
Yep.
Yeah. I just can't think of it right now.
Did they say it? They might have said it. Like, who's the letter from? Maybe I blinked and missed it. Lysa Arryn. Cat's sister. And
everything's going through his mind now. What do you think is going through his mind? Because clearly some stuff.
Well, he's probably afraid for his life more than anything.
Well, I think he's thinking further than that. I mean, what about...
Oh, look at that wax dripping down behind her. I never noticed that before. That's awesome. I kind of want that. Can we do that with our fireplace?
What? I didn't see it.
I wish I could rewind. Just like they have all these candles atop their fireplace, and it's just these huge stalactites of wax dripping down. Just solidified on the edge of the fireplace.
I don't think I want that.
Oh. I do. Oh.
Wow, look at the dancing.
So here we are at the wedding. This is the wedding day with all the gifts and stuff. This was also a reshoot. They did film this the first time around in Morocco, and then mostly because of the change of actress, they couldn't keep the stuff because Daenerys is different. But in the original scene filmed, they actually had a cameo for George R.R. Martin. He played a Pentashi nobleman, probably one of these guys giving a gift.
That
but
sucks.
He got cut out of his own show.
Hmm. Who wants snakes? What is that?
I think those are horse hearts.
Oh my god! And the bats? Meat. What is it?
What?
There were bats, fried bats.
Some vampire action going on. Now, an authentic Dothraki wedding. Do you think anyone's done that with the naked dancers and, like people do Star Wars weddings and stuff, like,
You think people are doing this kind of wedding?
And then, like, if you're the DJ at that wedding, what do you do when people start fucking on the dance floor?
Well,
just gotta go with it, right? Keep the music going.
I don't know. I don't think it. I don't know. Well, you were a DJ. What would you do?
I'd probably just take that opportunity for a bathroom break or something. Just get the fuck out of there. I was okay with this until the guys started fighting each other.
They're fake fighting. This is all a show. It was all a show.
No, it's not. No. Well, someone's about to die, I think.
Oh. Well, it's hard to tell with no sound. They were just fake fighting. Itayo Aka.
I'm glad we got subtitle for that. Yeah. Subtitle for Dothraki in case we're fluent. Oh, there we go. See? That guy died. Ooh, that guy died a lot.
Ooh, he's got some intestines hanging out. That guy got his ponytail cut off.
That's probably not a good wedding day either. But the girls are laughing. They're like, haha, I was going to let this one guy fuck me.
But now he's dead.
His guts fell out, so now I'm going to let this other guy fuck me instead. That's a hell of a culture.
He likes it.
Well, sure.
And she doesn't.
He doesn't want to watch someone die. All right, Jorah Mormont. This is one of your least favorite characters.
I hate Jorah.
Poor Ian Glenn. Now, did you hate him from day one?
Yes.
Because did you always think he just looked like an alcoholic?
Yeah.
That's all it was?
Mm-hmm.
You have plenty of good reason in your life to not trust people that seem like alcoholics, but his character is actually pretty sober, I think. So why did you come to this conclusion about him?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. He looks all shabby. I don't know.
And the dragon eggs. We still have those in our house somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get those on display.
They're by the door.
Well, they're not on display.
Oh, they're on our crank table.
The crank table.
Yeah, I want to get little round.
That's a descriptive name, dear. Would you like to explain?
Well, we got this table that
table where we
cranks
do crank?
up. You can like use this cool crank thing and it rises and lowers by it. It's pretty cool.
Also kind of useless, but cool. Like
Mhm.
you don't really need the table to go up and down, but it does. It's fun.
You might need it to go up or down.
Well,
Like I could slide it over the couch if it's high enough.
oh,
Have myself a little snack tray.
mm-hmm. But right now it's holding your homemade dragon eggs.
Mhm.
You really have to show those off one day. Hopefully we'll get some video stuff off the ground one of these days.
Creepy. Everybody, like, give me some space.
Again, I am happy that she's not 13 in the show.
What?
She's probably supposed to be like 16 or 17 in the show, which is better than if she was a 13. Could you imagine like if Sansa was walking towards Drogo? Because she looks 13.
Yeah.
Daenerys doesn't look 13. Thank
I
goodness.
guess not, but
Oh, this isn't the scene where they go off to fuck. She gets her horse. Okay.
oh.
Luckily, there is no word for thank you in Dothraki. That's really something. They had to do something like that, right? Like I think in like Star Trek Klingon, maybe there's no words for love or peace or something like that. Even though someone took the time to make a full language, they couldn't include words that were like culturally inappropriate, even though, I mean, come on, no words for thank you?
Ugh, make
No
him
word for
happy.
gratitude? I mean, what if someone saves your life? You aren't like, thanks, bud. I owe you one.
No, because he
Something.
should have died in
Anything.
honor. Let him die in honor.
What if it's your best friend? Maybe you don't have friends. Maybe there's no Dothraki word for friendship. They just care about horses and fucking and stealing and more fucking and killing. Maybe some more fucking. Okay, so this scene. If this scene was like in the book, it really would be someone with an appearance and body type more like Sansa in episode 1. And that would just be disgusting,
Really?
right?
Well, I mean, how are they different? She's
Well, I mean, Emilia Clarke is a fully grown woman. She's playing someone who's probably supposed to be like 16, 17. But if you look at Sansa from this episode 1, she is definitely not a woman. And she hasn't bled yet, but she's like 13, right?
she's gonna bleed now.
I'm talking about Sansa.
Right, I know.
But yeah, if you took Sansa and put her in this scene,
Mhm,
physically,
it would be
that
really
would be
scary.
beyond disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, from a historical fiction standpoint, probably pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have our girls watch this show so they know how good they have it. We're not selling them off to marriage. We're trying to get them to use their brains and get a job someday.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, boobs.
The raping begins.
Well, she doesn't. I guess this is right.
She said no. Like,
Did she say
lots
no?
of times now he's just saying no back to her. She has a
That's
tan.
what I get for looking back at you. I think he says no to her in the book, right? Like, she tries to push his hand away or something. He's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell where the
Oh, look at that.
subtitles start and stop.
The first look at the hound.
His hair looks funnier than usual, doesn't he?
Yeah, they let him have more wispy hair on top of his head later on.
Oh, that's...
Right now, it's a little on the extreme side. I wonder what episode was the last one where he had that wolf helmet, though. I think he might have had it in the jousting stuff at the middle or end of this season.
That's
But I
the
don't
hound
think it
or the
came-
mountain?
The hound.
That was the hound walking around, riding around with that helmet.
Well, yeah, because he's a hound.
Yeah, I
He has a
know,
dog
but it
in
looks more like a bear. Bear hound.
Well, the mountain is a mountain, not a bear. But also, but their family crest is like either 3 dogs or a 3-headed dog or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The Clegane's House Clegane. Brand start.
Mm.
Are we almost at the end of the episode now?
Mm.
I don't want to push any buttons on the Xbox remote and accidentally pause it because that will throw off our timings. But if everybody's out, oh yeah, here goes Bran a climbing.
He promised.
Oh,
Puppy,
cute little Summer.
puppy.
Oh yeah, you were asking about the wolves. I think Ghost is still alive, right? I don't think anything bad happened.
Maybe Ghost is a ghost.
I think Ghost is still alive and Nymeria is still alive, but not hanging out with Arya. I expect we'll see Nymeria sometime before the end of the series.
Here comes Bran's big moment.
And I think those are the only 2 wolves left.
Oh, don't slip, don't slip.
Okay, so again, we got body double. We're not going to see Cersei's face at whatever point they're showing the fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Oh, that's funny. Wow. Jamie, you don't know how you're doing. God.
He's not romancing her.
And you're so gross. You don't know how to do your sister.
Oh, Jamie. So this was the moment where you almost stopped watching the show.
Here it comes.
10. He looks younger than 10. Maybe not.
No.
I guess he could pass for 10.
No.
Oh, boy. What an ending. There we go. Here come the credits. Still hurt your heart, babe? Watching a little boy fall out a window?
Yes.
Even knowing what you know now?
Yes, more so, because I wish he hadn't, because now he's weird.
He's magical.
Can you imagine if all of that was just in his brain? He got some kind of brain damage, and maybe that's what's going on. This is all part of Bran's brain damage.
It's from a concussion. Oh, the whole show?
Mm-hmm.
The whole show is just in Bran's head.
Yeah. He thinks he's this tree.
He thinks he's a bird. He thinks he's a raven.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rather live your life normally but be able to walk, or would you be okay giving up your ability to walk, for cool magic powers?
What? I don't even know what kind of magic powers he has. I need to know these things.
Well, he can mentally travel through time and see things no one else can see.
Okay. Is that a
gift
or a burden?
And he can see through Raven eyes.
He can't do anything to change the past or future.
Now, we don't know that.
Okay.
There was that point where he yelled out, and Ned seemed to respond, young Ned, in that vision. It was almost like he could hear Bran.
Mm-hmm. Maybe...
Oh, and Bran fucked up Hodor. So he can change things.
True.
So it's more than just seeing. He's time traveling.
Poor Hodor.
Yeah, we only saw Hodor very briefly. He didn't Hodor or anything. There was no Hodoring.
No Hodoring.
No Hodoring. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it might be worth the special powers. Although being in a wheelchair in this technology era would really suck.
Well, sure.
I mean, they don't have special access toilets. They don't
right.
have, there's a lot of stuff.
But
there's no.
What do you think is happening with Bran's downstairs? Poop just falling right out of him? Does he just pee all over the place?
I don't know. I think you.
Is he wearing a diaper?
I've never really thought about that, actually. I honestly don't know. If anyone knows what happens if you're a paraplegic.
No, I'm saying in this day and age. They have things to cover that now.
Well, no, but you're asking if the poop's just falling out of it. So that leads to the question of, do you have any kind of bowel or bladder control if you're paraplegic?
Right.
I don't know the answer to that.
My assumption is no.
I'm not going to look it up right now.
Okay.
But, we don't have any, there's no ADA laws. He can't get the good parking spots. He doesn't have extra room in the toilets. There's all sorts of things that if you're around today, it's probably a little bit easier. Plus motorized chairs. He has to wheel himself around.
He has a Hodor for that.
For now.
Yeah. For now. And then it's a sled.
Then he gets the wheelchair. Then there's a sled, and then you can't do much on a sled.
No.
You're just tied to a sled.
But it was a sled. No, girl, what was her name?
Mira.
Mira.
Yeah, she would pull him around. No, I get that. But like, there were points where he was kind of stranded in that sled a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do shit if you're in a sled.
Well,
by yourself.
Or if you can't move your limbs.
Well, yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. If you can't move your limbs and you're tied to a sled, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But at least if you're in a wheelchair, you have wheels.
I guess.
So spoilers, Bran doesn't die, you guys. he survives this vicious fall, being pushed out.
Yikes.
Congratulations, Cat. You've learned to smuggle on our cables instead of chewing on them. What a good kitty.
All right.
We're done. There we go. We watched episode 1. Winter is Coming. What do you think, babe? Was it fun to take that step back again?
Sure. I feel like we didn't see a whole lot except...
Well, we did say like 2 years ago almost, or a year and a half ago, that we wanted to rewatch this if nothing else but to see that one scene about the whole
head touching thing
touching
or whatever.
Starks in the order they die. And it turns out that's not true.
But he did only touch the characters that die.
He did. That's true. He only touched characters that die. So there is something to it, but he did not touch them in the order that they die.
Yeah.
So I think it was worth watching, at least for that. It was kind of funny because I don't think we noticed it last time how bad the Hound looked, even though we didn't even get a close-up of his face, really. Mm-hmm. That whole thing with his hair is just...
He's got a lot of skull showing.
Yeah.
And a lot of long hair. And then just one tuft hanging out right here for his like sideburn area.
I guess maybe it's a cleaner look because later on he looks more shabby, but he does have hair covering part of his like forehead area.
He tries to have a comb over.
He gets almost like a comb over, like a wisp over. Just
a wisp over.
Little bits of hair falling down. What else? It's a good piece of TV. I would love to see the original.
Yeah, that would be great.
A 90% reshoot. It's amazing they greenlit the show at all, frankly. Someone at HBO at the high ends of the executive level, they must have really been fans of the books. Or
well,
something.
maybe this started not with HBO.
Well, I think it did.
Oh, okay. I was going to say maybe they shot it not with them, and then HBO came in and bought it and said, no, this is not good enough.
I think HBO ordered the original pilot. But then when they said, we'll go to series, they said, we'll go to series, but you have to reshoot the pilot because it sucks. Mm-hmm. And here's what's wrong with it. But boom. And so they did they did some major recasting, and then they reshot almost everything with new locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's our question to ask. What made them do the reshoot?
And what were the White Walkers thinking?
Right. That was weird.
I think 2 years ago when we watched this over or whenever that was, I don't think I thought about that even then. But now, finally, as we're nearing the end, what the fuck was that White Walker doing leaving Will alive in season 1 and toying with
What's the point? Right. They don't have those kinds of emotions.
You wouldn't think so, but maybe they do. Oh, that'd be so cool if we got to see the inner workings of like a White Walker gathering and they're just like playing poker and telling dirty jokes. That'd be super cool. That'll probably be in the prequel series that's coming.
Yeah.
We'll get to see some of that. The origins of the White Walkers. We'll see more of that. White Walker locker room talk. All right. So I think that does it.
Coolio.
This has been fun. And then over the coming weeks, we're going to start rewatching and getting our season 8 and 30 minutes going. Mm-hmm. And I would like to hear from you guys. So if you enjoyed our little attempt at a commentary track, the first time we've done it, as we know, let us know. And which episodes should we do? Oh, what would be the best? Yes. What are your favorite episodes that would make for good commentary tracks for us to go back and revisit?
That'd be fun.
I don't know when we'll do it. Will we do it before season 8, or will we save it for some after season 8 fun when we have nothing in our lives that's Game of Thrones related anymore? Yeah, we'll see, but we'll do it.
Cool.
We'll make a list. So there we go. All right. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We will be back soon. Any last thoughts?
No.
I don't have
No.
I don't have sign out lines anymore. I think this is just going to be a sign outless world now. We're just going to have to cut it off right here.
That's so stupid and lame.
What?
There. We'll end it there.
Stupid and lame. That's our way.